On storylines here in Impact in 2008, Jay Lethal is going to propose to SoCal Val, who's going to say yes. Sanjay Dutt is looking on in jealousy here. Um, Afterwards, Lethal's going to call out Dutt on something that's been bothering him. While everyone thought Lethal was going to question Dutt on trying to sneak around behind his back with Val, Lethal simply asked him if he'd be the best man at his wedding. And of course, Sanjay's relieved and accepts the honor. And now there's a new music video done by Ace Young to surprise Lethal and Val. The music video is a mix of steamy love scenes between Lethal and Val and a highlight reel footage of Lethal doing a bunch of spots in the ring. This is interesting. Ace Young is the 7th place finisher on American Idol in 2006. I guess he had maybe a little bit of mainstream appeal, but what did you think of this? I mean, clearly it's inspired by the old SummerSlam wedding between the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth with this black machismo influence and whatnot. What did you think of this storyline of Val and Lethal?
It is truly one of my personal favorites. It had the recipe in real life. Jay and Sanjay are best friends. They still are to this day and have been. You know, Sanjay's son is named Jay. It is a very, very tight friendship, and that's part of what made it work. Again, Jay Lethal, his charisma when he steps into black machismo character, it's an alter ego, but man, he's just playing an extension because it's Jay. Yes, it's Randy Savage heavily inspired, but when you think about musicians in life, big time guitar players will say, yeah, you know, Eric Clapton influenced me, but they make it their own, whatever it may be. But the story, and to me, those two guys told so much of the story. And folks, Impact Plus, if you just like episodic, and these are two X Division guys, but a fun story, it was just fantastic because the whole buildup was Lethal. I mean, just every week there was something, but Lethal's oh boy, he's mad and he's going to kick Sanjay's ass, or something's gone wrong in the relationship and he asked him to be his best man. But the story is Sanjay's got a crush on Val, but that's his best friend. And at the end of the day, I can remember in creative meetings and you know, this is one of those stories that everybody can relate to this. Everybody can relate to this in high school or junior high, or maybe up in college, is that, you know, two best buds end up liking the same girl and you got to have to play a little of a chess match because, oh no, you got to make sure you take care of your best bud. But in reality, anyhow, fun story. Conrad's one of my all-time favorites during this era.
And now the wedding. Ace Young comes out to Scattered Boos. Jake Roberts comes out. Although he doesn't look like Jake, he gets a big reaction. Coco Beware comes out with the latest Frankie. He's getting a small reaction. Kamala's out next, and Wade says, I don't know what happened, but he looks a lot shorter. And George Steele comes out. He gets no reaction, and he's staring at Val, playing off the old thing with Miss Elizabeth.
Conrad, this is a lesson to be learned that the viewer at home, this again did not translate in Memphis, Tennessee.
A pre-tape of this on TV is one thing. Doing it in front of a crowd is not the same thing.
Oh, and George Animal Steel, Kamala, Coco to a little bit, but you know, Coco was PYT pretty in Memphis. Yes, I mean I get it, Frankie, and all this, but these characters, even Jake, they did not translate to the live audience.
The live crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
So Lethal comes out dressed like Randy Savage did in the 91 wedding with Elizabeth, but the fans just aren't with it. When the preacher asks to speak now, forever hold your peace, all the fans start screaming. Sanjay Dutt then tries to stop the wedding, saying he loved Val and she should marry him. She starts crying. Dutt attacks Lethal, which was part of the setup of the ceremony, I guess. Dutt's going to lay out Ace Young and then brawl with Kamala and Ware until Jake pulls out a snake. Kamala gets spooked. Steele climbs in the ring, eats a turnbuckle. This is not Memphis nostalgia for the live crowd. This is WWF nostalgia, and it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I also would say that this killed a lot of the crowd who were there to see matches like AJ Styles and Kurt Angle.
And let me just say one thing. The dynamic between Jay and Sanjay and Val, you know, we built it up for the wedding. Sanjay switching heel. People were invested, and I'll just say this, in Orlando in the storyline, they kind of get it. In Memphis, they just kind of didn't follow it. They're like, what the hell? Again, it didn't translate.
Right.
Oh boy.